Good day, I'm Andrea Chizom and this is your JIS News for Thursday, January 28. At least 6 government entities may be divested through the Jamaica Stock Exchange JSE. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips says the entities are likely to include the Wigton Wind Farm Limited, government stake in the Jamaica Public Service Company, SEPROD, and the assets of the Factories Corporation of Jamaica, Petrojam Ethanol, and Things Jamaica Limited.
We recognize the value of the market as an indicator of public sentiment and as an effective mechanism for broadening ownership. That is why the Cabinet has agreed to include and indeed place priority on the Jamaica Stock Exchange as one of the modalities for its privatization program.
Dr. Phillips was speaking during the recent conference hosted by the Jamaica Stock Exchange JSE. In addition to the JSE, government is also working on projects in a number of sectors to grow the economy. Both houses of Parliament have now passed legislation designed to reform electoral campaign financing. The Representation of the People Amendment Act was approved by the Senate on January 22 and previously passed in the House of Representatives on December 1 last year. Justice Minister Senator Mark Golding says the amended legislation seeks to bolster transparency and accountability of elected officials and reduce corruption and improper influence. Among other things, it establishes the National Election Campaign Fund to receive and make contributions to candidates and registered parties, as well as to promote the active participation of citizens in the electoral process. The fund is to be managed by the Director of Elections under the direction of the Electoral Commission. Minister Golding says money will only be disbursed from the fund when candidates pass all compliance requirements, adding that there is to be a total disbursement limit.
And that limit provides that the disbursement to the candidate from the fund, together with any other funding provided to the candidate, shall not exceed 40% of the lesser of the total expenditure that the candidate is permitted to have incurred in the campaign period under Section 52BI, or the actual expenditure incurred by the candidate.
The University Hospital of the West Indies has received several critical pieces of equipment for its intensive care unit. 1 blood gas analyzer machine and 3 advanced patient monitors were handed over to the hospital on Wednesday by Guardian Group. The items were purchased from the proceeds of its Keep It Alive 5K night run. The equipment will serve patients of the UHII's intensive care unit and other areas of the hospital, including the coronary care unit and emergency room. The hospital's board chairman, James Moss Solomon, applauded the donation and said more of this nature was needed.
It's a personal responsibility. We cannot expect that the government will always have the money to give us for what our needs are. This hospital and other hospitals across Jamaica require a lot of money to bring them up to par. It is us in this room who will benefit from it.
National Security Minister Peter Bunting has underscored the need for regional countries to work together to combat a number of security threats.
These include local and transnational crime, the illicit trafficking of guns and narcotics, trafficking in humans, pandemics, natural and man-made disasters, and more recently, terrorism.
Minister Bunting was speaking on Wednesday during the opening ceremony of the 14th Annual Caribbean Nations and Security Conference at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. The event, which wraps up tomorrow, is being held under the theme Strengthening Regional Capacity and Fostering Cooperation to Counter Regional Threats. It's organized by the United States Southern Command and the Jamaica Defense Force.
We'll apply ourselves to finding solutions to the existing and emerging threats that face us by strengthening our regional capacity and fostering cooperation.
The rafting experience in Portland is set to be significantly enhanced as $32 million have been allocated to renovate the facilities in Berrydale and Rafters Rest in the parish. The project will be financed by the Tourism Enhancement Fund and managed by the Tourism Product Development Company. The renovation works is to start during the first week of February. The facility at Rafters Rest will get improved restrooms, upgraded electrical and sewerage systems, roof repairs, and a new loading deck. The Berrydale location will have its kitchen revamped and premises repainted. Tourism Minister Dr. Wickham McNeil says rafting is an important part of Jamaica's tourism product, and restoring these attractions is important to the sector's continued viability. And finally, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has expressed sadness at the passing of master painter Professor Barrington Watson. In a release on Wednesday, the Prime Minister said Professor Watson was one of the most influential artistic figures in post-independent Jamaica. She praised him for creating an esteemed body of work that captured Jamaica's essence, heritage and culture. In 2012, the National Gallery had an exhibition of Professor Watson's catalogue dubbed a retrospective. It included paintings and works on paper from the 1950s. Professor Watson was also a recipient of the Order of Jamaica and the Institute of Jamaica's Gold Musgrave Medal. He died on Tuesday at age 87. The Prime Minister has expressed condolences to the family and friends of the late master painter. And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.